The house smelled of something old and bitter, not iron, but the tang of trust eaten away over years. I stood in the entryway with my heart thumping, knowing whatever waited inside would pry a piece of me loose. Have you ever walked into a room and felt a secret press against your throat? That was me. I'm Ethan Cole, 35, a chiropractor who dug his way out of debt and doubt to build a clinic that actually helps people. My hands, steady spines. My life, I learned, had to be steadier still. It started as a weekend brunch, casual, linen napkins, fresh squeezed orange juice. But the second I stepped over the threshold, I felt the wrongness. Mom's voice was too bright, like a lamp about to pop. She fussed with my tie, fingers betraying a little tremor. "Ethan, you look tired," she said, eyes skipping past me. Dad worked the bagels of the island with a focus that felt tactical, shoulders holding some invisible weight the wrong way. Nora, my younger sister, leaned against the counter with a grin that didn't reach her eyes. The kitchen smelled of coffee and thinly stretched calm. Plates were arranged like pieces on a board, everything too planned. I took my old seat, the one I'd always taken, and tried to breathe. "How's the practice?" Mom asked, sliding a bowl of fruit toward me so casual it made me colder. I kept it short. "Busy." "Good." I tracked Nora. She was tapping a mug, avoiding my gaze. Dad's hand tucked near a black folder under a napkin. Not a menu. Too deliberate. A spike of adrenaline ran through me. Nora glanced at Dad the way we used to trade signals as kids. The look before she swapped my science fair volcano for something that fizzled. My laugh came out too small. "Doing those freelance things still?" I said. Her reply was slick. Always chasing the next big thing. Too practiced. The folder sat between them like a grenade. Conversation skimmed and stalled until Dad cleared his throat, a sound that shut the room down. "Ethan," he said, patient as a hunter, "we've been talking about the future of your practice." I stiffened. "What do you mean?" Mom rushed in, words flooding. "You've done so well, sweetheart. But a business like that needs vision. Family vision." Nora sat forward, eyes gleaming with what she called ambition. "I could manage the admin, scheduling, marketing, finances. You do the treatments. I take 35% of profits." The floor seemed to tilt. 35%. My practice. The nights sleeping on a couch in my office. The loans, the late-night study sessions. Reduced to a line on paper. "I have a manager," I said, trying to steady my voice. "This is a family business." Dad's hand edged closer to the folder. "We had a lawyer draw papers. We just need your signature." The tone wasn't conversation. It was a demand. I asked to see it. He pushed the folder away. Clean contract. Nora's name in bold as Director of Operations. A profit split and some startup bonus for her. Memory hit in a surge. Me at 21 washing dishes to afford chiropractic exams, while Nora blew money on concerts. Me wiring her cash for car repairs while I survived on coffee and stale granola. Me celebrating graduation, alone, while they cheered at her poetry night. My laugh curdled. "You expect me to sign this?" I asked, voice low. Nora blinked like she'd been wounded. "I was just getting the hang of things when I worked the front desk," she said. "I gave out discounts to friends." That was an understatement. I'd been the one picking up the pieces after a month at the desk. The misappointments, the tangled insurance claims that nearly cost us contracts. I couldn't contain it anymore. I told him about the nights I slept on my office couch, the extra shifts, the loans. The room went quiet. Mom's napkin crumpled. Nora stared at her shoes. Dad didn't speak, but his jaw tightened. I reached into my satchel and laid down something of my own. Ledgers, receipts, the account of my life poured into that clinic. "Here's what I've done for this family." I said, $45,000 in free care alone. Adjustments, pain relief, favors. I built this while you treated it like a cash machine. My voice sharpened. I let the numbers land. Mom's smile faltered. Nora's practiced ease cracked. They tried the family chess line. "We're supporting you," Mom blurted, tears on the edge. "It's about carrying weight together." "That's not support," I said. "That's ownership by other means." I showed them the management contract I'd signed last month with Apex Health Group, a structure that protected operations from family meddling. I'm on the board. No family hires without approval. I did that because I knew the danger of mixing blood and business. Then I told them something else they hadn't expected. Dr. Alvarez called. I said, watching their faces. He asked why you told her you co-founded my clinic. Why Mom's been telling her yoga friends we're a family business. Why Nora's been promising discounts and deals I never approved. The confession landed like glass. Mom slapped a hand to her mouth. Dad's eyes widened as if the floor had fallen out. Nora's mock smile collapsed. You lied. I said, each syllable a hammer. For years I felt invisible, the one who slipped into the background so someone else could shine. But I hadn't failed. I'd made something real. A practice with patients who trusted my hands and a team that respected my leadership. Standing there, I wasn't going to let it be stolen or reshaped into their story. Not after everything. I left the folder on the table and the rest of it, the lies, the expectations, the old patterns. The air outside bit like a promise, clean and sharp. As I drove away, the clinic felt warmer in my chest than the house ever had. My life belonged to the people who walked through my door for help, not to the ones who thought love meant a takeover. So I ask you, if you poured everything into something only to find family at the threshold trying to claim it, would you forgive and fold it into the family myth? Or would you walk away and keep what you built for yourself? I walked away. ChatGPT can make mistakes. Check important info.